Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Too many men are obsessed with other men. And let me be very clear with that. I don't know if it's jealousy or whatever. I don't mean in some moist way either, though that could be a part of it. But I'm just going to go on what I'm seeing on the surface. It's usually like some competition or some jealousy or whatever. It's the weirdest thing. Like you got a lot of guys out here checking out, constantly doing videos on what they call PSL gods and everything. Guys who are supposedly super handsome, all of that. You know, they doing more of the videos on that than women are doing. I'm like, what the heck? It's kind of questionable. But a definite part of it is probably feeling like they don't look like these men. And I'm just like, okay, you don't look like them. Okay, whatever. Or this whole alpha versus sigma thing. There's a whole lot of videos on it. Let me be abundantly clear, because every now and then I get somebody asking me about sigma males and all of that. I'm not into all of that. Or alphas. I'll use it at best for reference, but I've always said every single man is the alpha of his world. I don't get into that other stuff, but then you get a lot of people doing videos. Well, the sigmas are better than the alphas, or the alphas are jealous of the sigmas and all of this. And I'm like, whatever. Shoot, even with my book, Nice Guys and Players, I remember very early on this website, this is early on when I published the book, and this guy, he had did a whole breakdown, like this whole long post, and that was another story. That he had some issues with me. Some women on the site had to call him out on his issues with me, his jealousy and everything, right? But this dude, he was talking about, well, this is why a nice guy is better than a player. But, and I pointed out to him, I said the title doesn't say nice guys versus players. I say it's nice guys and players. And the whole point of the book was getting the best qualities of both, which is something women want. I've said that numerous times. I've been saying that for well over 20 years. That's the whole point of the book. Becoming the best version on multiple levels. But it wasn't about the competition, but he saw it about the competition. And see, I can understand competitiveness. Men are naturally competitive, but some guys are getting to the point of taking it like obsessed with it. Look, here's the issue. The only competition that you need to worry about, your only opponent, is in the mirror. You got to fight whatever's within you that's keeping you from being the best version, or not feeling like you the best version. Let's use that thing with the whole thing with the looks thing. You get guys saying, well, I'm not as tall as him, or I don't have a jawline as him. You know what you got? You got everything about you, and there's probably some woman that's checking you out. And if they're not, then you got to say, okay, what can I do to improve what I got? But not just a physical thing, but a mental thing. There's plenty of guys out there, like you got all these handsome man video games, handsome man game videos. Hey, it could be a video game. You got all these handsome man videos. So these guys who at least they calling themselves handsome still having trouble. That means it's not the physicality, it's their mindset. Or, you know, it's so much. I use some other examples. It was like, especially in this space, guys talking about, well, Pookie and Ray Ray's getting all the women. You know, it's always something. Or they want that. Or they want that particular race or something. It's like, no. You got to ask yourself what it is within you that's not getting what you want from women. Because it's not that other guy. Let me use the whole the male model thing. How many of them do you see around on a regular basis? And where you at? I can count one guy I saw one time who would probably be considered a Chad, just in this area I'm in. One time, once. even working out at the gym once. And he had a baby. And, you know, he had that whole model looking. It was like, okay. Because how many of you going to be around that guy to actually compete with him? Meanwhile, you probably got a bunch of women in that area checking you out. And then, you know, worried about your, like, jawline or anything like that. Look, women like different things. Some women like a round face. Some women like a slimmer face. You know? They like different things. Whole point while constantly talk about a tribe. You find out what the woman like about you. You know? Even when I talk body game, you get some guys I talk body game, well, you got to be lean in this. I've known some women, they like some size on them. I told you. Now, you know, I ain't a small dude. I've had women tell me, oh, I got to put some weight on you. You know, women like different things. You got to worry about yourself. Because you competing with that man, and here's something else too. Whether you shall call yourself checking out or competing with some male model or, you know, competing with some alpha or competing with some sigma or competing with some thug or something like that. How you know that same man ain't looking at you thinking, oh, I wish I was like him? I've seen that a lot. You be thinking and stuff like, yeah, you know, he got all this and that, but they looking at you the same way. And I would tell them too, it's like, nah, worry about yourself. Worry about yourself. First of all, there's an abundance of women in the world. There is an abundance of women, 4 billion women in the world. And like I always talk about, this young man, he did a webinar for me on one of my private sites. He did a webinar, and this ain't the purpose of the webinar, so don't try to get it just for this. It was just an offhand statement. Really, that's the irony of it. It was just an offhand statement he made. He said, look, there's enough women out here. You got to have a mentality. You can get, in a year, you can get 10 women. And you can do that if you out and about. Because think about it. Even some guys who call themselves players and stuff, or they cold approaching and all of that. Or even the guys who, you know, they would be labeled the Chad and Tyrone. They encounter, and yeah, they can get some women, but they only, how many have they actually encountered? And can they actually say every single woman encountered them? Like you got some videos, like some guys walking around and, you know, they'll show like somebody, the guy be walking and the woman, there's somebody else following them, recording the women looking at them. But if you look at those same videos, some women just walking past and not doing a thing. And plus, you know, they editing those videos anyway. So they're only going to show the scenes where the women going to look at them. You know, how often they doing that live. I want y'all to think about that. And even some of the ones where, you know, they editing and everything, they'll show a woman that checking them out. Every I don't care who it is, it's not going to be every single woman. But every single woman has a man she like. You know? The subtitle of my book, Nice Guys and Players, say becoming the man women want. There's going to be a woman, you be your best self. There is going to be some woman that wants you. The only issue is, do you want her back? So your real competition is not guys outside of you. Don't worry about it. Let them get theirs. Your only competition is within yourself and your own self-esteem and how you feel about yourself. That's it. That's it. You know, don't be obsessed with another man. Because first of all, that other man ain't obsessed with you. He's having fun. He's doing his thing. You know? You worry about being the best version of yourself and seeing which women like that version. That's it. It's very simple. You know? Because I had just talked about, like, don't, you know, the other day, don't get mad if a particular woman don't want you. Okay. 3 others might. Focus on being the best version of yourself. Focus on your mission and then seeing which woman falls into that. Very simple. All right. So that's all I have for right now. I'll get back with y'all later. Peace and blessings.